Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Spirit Guides After Dark. So, this is a live interactive experience. My name is Angela Shelby. I am a medium and a psychic, a channeler, and a dream interpreter, and a quantum touch energy healing practitioner. And I'm usually doing this with my friend Jenna, but she is out of town. So it's you, me, and spirit tonight. So usually what we do is if you have questions about sex, sexuality, spirit, intimacy, connection, healing from trauma, um, spiritual questions, any questions like that, please feel free to put them in the chat. If you are feeling shy and you do not want everyone to know it's you asking the question, you can go to our website, www.eroticspiritpodcast.com. And at the top of the page, it says Spirit Guides After Dark. Just pick that and you can put your question in, and Jenna and I will know who it is, but we will put up your question next Thursday and we will answer it anonymously for you. So, why are we here tonight? We are here to have those questions answered, and this is a safe space to ask those questions of spirit and your spirit guides and have those questions answered. So, please feel free to write in. Usually, Jenna and I have questions that before we get started, we ask spirit what the questions are or what would be to have answered tonight. I have a lineup of guides and teachers in spirit. I don't know what they talk about, but they're here. So we will see what they have to say and what they have to say it about. First, we're going to set this space. So setting the space is just grounding into our bodies and and just it out. Let your day fade away with that deep breath. Take another breath in, breathe deep, and let it out. Shake it out a little bit. Take a deep breath in. And let it out. Holding and protecting the sacred space. Thank you. And dream. Thank you. Thank themselves clearly. Thank you. Thank you for holding this space. Thank you for sharing your glory with us, Creator. And so it is. Beloved Goddess, Hamea Titia Ishtia, Tia Ikoya Manataya, Pia Hakia. Hamea Tia Shtia Nia, Paya Taya Hoya, Kia Nia. Shivers. Lots of energy here tonight, friends. So, we will see who wants to come in first. And again, and I'm going to say it throughout, please, if you have questions you would like answered, please put them in the chat. And bear with me as I manage tech and talking at the same time. All right. So let's see who's here and what they have to share. So there's a group of teachers in spirit that I work with. I call them my sexual teachers because when questions about sex or sexuality come up in my personal life, or when I get questions asked about that in readings. These are often the people who answer. So they've stepped in tonight, and let's see what they want to talk about. Wow, that's interesting. So they're saying red light district. Um, so it sounds like we're talking about prostitution tonight. Oh my gosh. Let's see what they have to say. And these teachers, all of these teachers are higher beings in spirit. And this is quite the curveball. Let's see. Let's see. This is what we are addressing at the beginning of tonight. We're starting heavy. Wow. So what they're saying is they would like us to understand that the time of sexual slavery is coming to an end. It's not a matter of it no longer being tolerated. It's just going to come out in the wash. So this has been hidden for so many years. And they're saying slavery never went away. It just went underground. But its time is coming to an end. What else do they have to say about it? Be prepared. So they're showing me people coming out of sexual slavery, prostitution rings, of people having that be their way of life and not knowing anything else, or again, so traumatized, it's hard to come back out into the world. And when I say they, I'm talking about the guides, the teachers who are speaking to me. They are saying to the rest of the world, whoever's listening, be prepared. Be prepared to help these people when they come out. They're showing me like shelters spring up, but they're showing this as a very grassroots movement, as someone just sitting at home and watching like a news story about 50 girls found, or girls and boys, slavery ring busted, and having so many of these things happen that it's overload. And then people just at home going, no, I want to do something about that. I can open up my home to help these people, or I feel inspired to learn more about it and become certified to help. I know in the state of Arizona, there are courses through the state that you can take that help teach about sexual trauma and sexual abuse. If you ever feel inspired to help, please listen to that. Or if you've been learning about this stuff, or what do I want to say? It's intrigued you, or you're curious about it, listen to those nudges and learn, because the time is coming where you're going to be needed. Let's see what else they have to say. They're saying it's the end of the red light districts. And then they're saying, so where do we go from here? So they're saying this outpouring of people that have been so abused, and the ending of sexual slavery as we know it, is going to be a huge wake-up call. And it's going to be something that will trigger many people, because it can't be ignored. And looking at their trauma and what they have been through will bring up humanity's sexual skeletons in the closet. On a greater scope, the culmination of this is having to look at all of the negative sexual beliefs and garbage that we have told ourselves, that we've taught ourselves about sexuality, that we have lived with in secret, and it can't be secret anymore. And it's going to feel like hell in a handbasket, like the world is going to hell in a handbasket, and it's not. It's the opposite. It's the ugliness that has always been there coming forward and being seen, felt, heard, and dealt with. So don't get discouraged if all of a sudden it's, oh my gosh, they've found so many sex trafficking and sex rings, and it's so much worse. I wish it was back to the good old days of what things were. That's not it. This has been there. It's always been there. It's just coming out into the open. It can't be denied or hidden anymore. So they're saying if you want to get ahead of the curve, do a sexual assessment and inventory within yourself. There are actually sexual reassessment studies that will test your sexual intelligence and see how biased or unbiased you are when it comes to what you believe about sex, about yourself, about other people. In doing that, whether it's through a class or not, assessing within yourself, are you comfortable with your sexuality? Are you comfortable with how you feel about go on. Sorry, my dog abandoned us. Let's see. So they're saying, the guides are saying, do a sexual self-assessment or reassessment. First of all, they want you to understand it does not matter what body you are in. It does not matter how healthy you are. Everyone has sexual value. Everyone has sexual energy. It is literally this stuff. Not all of us in the same way, though. They're saying and showing creativity is the same sexual energy. They are in the same, different facets, the same. They stuff that goes on is a culmination of managing nightmares. We have to unravel the nightmares within ourselves. If you have sex trauma, time does not heal those wounds. If you don't and do something, my experience has been, I don't like making generalities either. Oh, shivers. My experience has been that it gets louder with age. Not dealt with, acknowledged, processed with age. It's like your soul goes, we're getting to the end of our life here. If we're going to do something about this, we need to do it now. So dealing with us helps the rest of the world. Dealing with your process helps collective ugliness around sexuality. Silence is your friend. Me. So just talking about so that with your you share it. It's the sharing that helps heal. It's the being quiet about it. Ooh, they're saying this stuff breeds in the dark. And they're showing not just externally in the world, showing internally in the world. When you hide it within your with yourself, it hides in what else, friends? You want to understand how you have over your own healing and how much power you have deciding to do something with it, to look at something, to think of it. Change your mind on your value based on that. So much self-value can be tied to so if you feel actually it can affect all areas of your life. You have had sexual trauma of your life. So if you have low self-value or low self-worth because of your sexuality, what you think about yourself or what was done to fucking mention your fuck they did. They tend to swear something. You are allowed to take your power back and change your and that's hard to do when you're keeping it secret. You will be able for you, even if it's in the space of your own mind. This stuff should be shared and talked about. And don't worry what other people are going to think. So I'm going to pop in with my experience here. There are so many stories I hear from friends and clients that they say, well, I told my parents, I told my significant other, and they told me not to talk about it, or I got beaten for it, or I got in trouble for it. I'm going to ask about that. I know what I say to that, but let me ask them what they say. If you tell your story to the people that you love and trust and care about, and they reject you for it, let me see what they have to say. They're saying it's time. They're saying the world energy is shifting. The earth herself, her energy is shifting, and it is time for this to end. It is time for these things to come into the light. Is going to be more optimal at this time. What do you mean by that, friends? Support will be found. The path was not skewed in the favor of the victim. Now it is. It is a time of great house cleaning. It is a time of seeing all there is to see in humanity and accepting all of it, and then changing what we don't approve of or what we don't want to continue. coming out of the closet, coming out, always tell people is if you tell the people who are closest to you and they turn you away, you keep looking. You keep looking. Then you tell your next friend, you tell your next family member, you keep talking about it. You keep looking. People in law enforcement, you can tell people in authority that you trust. Thing just said support groups. The other thing is, if you are someone that you do not know who to tell about your sexual trauma or your abuse and you need help, you're like, I need to tell somebody, there are support groups. You can find support groups of people who have been through what you have been through and your story. Understand, really fucking important that you tell your story. It's really important that you talk about it, that you don't allow it to fester within yourself and affect your sense of self-value, self-worth, and allow it to skew who you are. You're a really, really brave soul to come down here and have that experience. It makes you stronger. It takes a strong soul to have that experience. So regardless of what you're feeling like, you are a strong soul if you've suffered through those things. Now it is your time to decide what you are going to do with that experience, with what it is your time to take your. They want to go over what taking power back looks like. They're saying humanity has a skewed view of power. We have been in a time of very masculine energy power. And when they say masculine energy, it's not men. Masculine energy is very aggressive. It is the energy to go and think through problems in the world. Mental type of energy. That male, fiery energy, driving force in the world, and that is shifting over to what is more feminine energy. And their humanity is for and they have forgot what powerful feminine energy looks like, because it's switching back to that feminine time. So there's the power of the divine feminine in divine feminine. I am not talking about just women. I am talking about every age group. I don't care if you're 84, you want to deal with your trauma before you pass on. Like, now is the time. Now is the time to tell people. Now is the time to speak up. Let's see. What else, my friends? So there's that discussion, gathering in groups, sharing your story. That is taking your power back. Of someone who's very scared and is in the closet because they're so afraid of sharing their story and whispering their story just off the dark to create or hide in a room story out loud to your spirit guides, to your angels, because everybody has them and they are listening. That is taking your power back. It is voicing your truth, and voicing the hard things that have happened to us is a way of, that is a part of our truth. That pain in that moment is a part of our truth in that moment. And your truth in that way is taking your power back. So even if you don't trust it to anyone else yet, sit by yourself and offer it up to spirit. Offer it up to the angels. They will hear you, and it changes your energy. It changes. It's like lancing a boil. It helps release the pain and it helps shift your energy. I know we've talked about energy here before, and the concept of energy, the quality of the energy you put out is the quality of the energy you receive. As soon as you start to speak your truth, even if it's hard, even if you feel nobody else wants to hear it, it shifts your energy to power. It helps you step into your power. It helps you let go of trauma. Great rest for letting go of trapped energy, trapped breath movement. So when you are talking and speaking your truth, sound breath movement, you're helping it move through. They're also showing journaling. If you feel like you can't tell another person, write it out. You can even write it out and burn it, but as long as you are communicating it, it will help move it out of your body. And they say it will help you have courage. Even if you are speaking it aloud, alone with your guides, it helps you have courage to speak up on your behalf with other things. It's like flexing a muscle. The more you do it, the easier it gets. I'm sharing truth with other people, whether it be about sexual trauma, about anything. Speak it to your guides. Speak it aloud on your own. Talk to them while you're driving in the car. Again, it's like flexing a muscle. The more you do it, the easier it gets, even if you're doing it to the invisible, awesome spirit guide people in your life. They're a valid choice. You can bounce anything off of them. Nothing offends them. Nothing, you can't drive them away. It's impossible. They are a great sounding board, and they are a great place to absorb hard feelings. Bad. I screeched at my horn, and they want you to know that they are there. Okay, so where are we at, friends? So they're showing me red light districts again. They're showing them dissipating and going somewhere. So they're also showing as the red light districts, they're showing shadow, and also that there is so much slavery in the profession of prostitution, but there's also so much hiding. That is going to come out of hiding, so that there are sex workers out there that they're showing legislation being passed, or like the issue, what do we do with prostitution when it's legal? Or what, can't hide our need. What are we going to do now that this has come into the open? And it's going to raise questions of legalizing sex workers. And not one or the other. It's not good or bad. It's just bringing these questions up. And as these questions come up, humanity's views on sexuality have to be looked at. They have to be reassessed. And they're showing it's like a fox in the hen house, or somebody taking a stick to a beehive. It's going to upset a lot of people. There's going to be high emotion. There's going to be a lot of judgment. There's going to be a lot of not only judgment of others, of self-recrimination as well. And they are saying the people who are loudest, the people who judge the most, the people who are inflexible, those are the people who are harshest on themselves. Those people need your compassion. They need your understanding. They need you to share your flexibility when they can't. So the people in who are our lives who are often the lesson, there's a saying, some people need a hard lesson and some people are the hard lesson. The people who can be our hard lessons, who will be really judgmental in this time, they need as much compassion as the people who are being judged. So they're saying, please keep an open mind when it comes to the people who irritate us and who seem to be our aggressors when it comes to judgment, and people making judgments against us, understanding that they are trapped within themselves. And they need a good example of who to be. When we can see that and be flexible and not judge them back, not be aggressive back. And what they're showing me is they're showing me people who, like, as the second out, people who are like, well, those girls, people are, I want to say the belt people, people who are victims of other people's sexuality with it. There will be a lot of blame, a lot of that judgment going around. Be as understanding of the people paired up in judgment as the people who are coming from victimhood from this space. Saying it's going to look like a hot, holy mess, but it is what's coming. It's for the highest good of all. And it is one of the greatest it's finally happening. It's finally together. Like that's fake. That can't be real. Nobody would ever do that. There are going to be things like that coming up as this oh, it looks like my connection was lost. Crap. Oh, connection. What happened? What happened? What happened? That might be all Spirit has to say tonight. Let's see. Well, I'm just going to keep talking. There we It shows a good internet signal. I don't know. Okay. Well, I'm just going to keep talking. I'm going to keep going. Let's keep channeling here. They're saying there's going to be a lot of things that shock humanity that we are not expecting. And just to be prepared for that, to keep an open mind, to not just randomly dismiss things. Horror button and think nobody could possibly. Oh, oh, there we go. Okay. No, because our connection's down. Damn it. Let's see. There we go. We're back. No, we're not. Okay. I'll see if Spirit just has anything else. They kind of step back though, because our connection is gone on our internet. No. Okay, onward. So be prepared is what they're saying. This is going to be a great time of renewal. They're just saying brace yourselves because it's going to look crazy and hectic for a while. They're saying listen to your own inner truth about these things and where you feel inclined to help. And the people who are in high judgment will need administering to you and as administering to as much as people who have been traumatized. Let me see what else. I'm going to go out. Okay. Please feel free to put them in the chat. So my sexual teachers have stepped back. Let's see. Archangel Michael is coming. He's saying with this upcoming, he says it's meant to come out. It's meant to be seen, heard, and felt. It's meant to upset people. It's meant to trigger people. It's a great wake-up call for humanity. And he wants everyone to know it has the angel of approval, and that anybody who has been sex trafficked, who is a sex worker, has as much value and as much right and as much protection as everyone else does, and that there's absolutely nothing wrong with them. And he wants that to be seen, heard, and felt now, that they are perfect as they are. He says this will be a time to welcome your brothers and sisters home. And when this hits, this is one of the great landmarks of humanity moving up into higher higher vibrations and higher dimensions of thinking. This is like one of the great anchors that holds the collective of humanity back, and it's going to go. It's going to upset a lot of people in power. And when it does, he says, this is also divinely guided. Don't worry. They're not going to be able to stop it. Like, it's done. This is it. On many levels, by many different beings, this time of sexual slavery is going to end. It's done. There will be no more. Okay, so now he's talking. This is Archangel Michael again. Archangel Michael is talking about human value, period. He says, there's something that I would like you to understand. Every human is valuable. Every human, now he's getting real specific. He's saying every being. And when he says that, he's showing me animals, plants, nature spirits, and beings in other dimensions. He's saying every being has value. The fact that you exist is your value. It's uncontestable. Your intrinsic value, and he's defining. So now he's like, when he means by value, he means you're deserving of love, you're deserving of affection, you're deserving of resources, your intrinsic right to kindness, generosity, happiness, all of it, your value is secured because you exist. Anything else you do on top of that is just icing on the cake. He's being really stern about that because he says there are a lot of people that look down on sex workers. They look down on, they're showing me girls who are sexually active, or especially girls and boys that don't have a choice. People still look down on them and treat them as less fault, or they're somehow deserving of it. And he is stating that is not the case, and it needs to stop. He is saying this, and he's saying this, the angels back up these people. These people have as much value as everybody else does. And that is something that's really going to piss a lot of people off and really give them a hard time. He says, if you find yourself looking down on someone because of their sexual choices, if you find yourself looking down on someone because of their sexuality, he goes, it is of yourself. It is you seeing yourself and your sexual discomfort, your sexual trauma, your sexual issues that you refuse to acknowledge or see being reflected back at you, and you are projecting them onto that person. It's like you're throwing your shadows on somebody else because you don't want to keep them, and it really is up to you. It's all about you. So if you find yourself in judgment of someone, please look at yourself and see, especially if it's sexual issues, where am I insecure with myself and my sexuality? Where do I limit myself? Where am I frustrated? Where in my value do I not believe myself valuable? Where do I feel in myself that I'm not deserving? He says, it is not a them issue. It is a you issue. And the energy of the world that we are moving into is not going to tolerate it anymore. It won't tolerate people throwing their sexual shadows on other people anymore. It's going to be the energy of the world is going to reflect it back at you. And you will have events that show you that it's really not about them. It is about you. This is the time. God, this kind of reminds me of like the 60s when it was like sexual freedom. It's like real sexual freedom this time, as in people being freed from slavery. Like, this is it. This is a really big deal. I wonder when this will be. I'm going to ask. He says it's coming. And he says it's coming in waves. It's coming in stages. So he's showing it. He says it's been a trickle and it's going to just start coming out in waves. They're really going to be freeing people. And when I say they, I'm showing task forces, people who are actively working against sexual slavery. What else? He says, be ready and celebrate. Especially. So he's showing that with that schism in humanity, when it comes to slavery, it is a reflection of the schism in humanity's soul with themselves and the qualities within themselves. So she's showing me like animalistic sexuality, basic drives, sexuality outside the norm, or sexual energy that frightens people because of the strength of it. He goes, that's where this started, and it's going to come back to that, and people accepting it within themselves. What else? What else do we have going here? Archangel Michael is stepping back. Who do we have coming forward? So this happened last week too. So we have the animal totems coming forward, and they're coming forward as a group. If you're not familiar with animal totems are the archetype of an animal. They are the epitome of what a particular animal is. So like a fox totem is the epitome of foxness and foxes. They are beings, and they feel like archangels, the bigness like archangels do. They remind me of archangels for individual species. They're coming forward as a collective whole, and they are saying you do not understand how this change in humanity is going to affect the environment and the world at large. You don't understand how much it's going to affect the planet, and how much of planet insanity when it comes to fires and weather is linked to the emotional weight of humanity and what we think. That's fascinating. So what he's showing me is the emotional weight. So many people thinking and feeling certain things affects the weather. It affects our environment. So it may not be just, it doesn't look like it's just climate change affecting this stuff. It is humanity's thoughts and feelings as a whole. That is so interesting. That's really interesting. Wow, if we want more peaceful weather, we need to get more peaceful. So I said fox spirit, and he came forward. He wants you to know that humanity is going to further understand how closely connected they are to the world at large, to their environment, by what they think and feel, and that they were never separated. He's saying you look at Earth as something separate from yourself, something that you inhabit, something that serves you. What you don't understand is that you are a part of it. He says you may not be of it, but you are a part of it while you are here. And he says this is your time. With the fall of this slavery and with the earth upgrading her energy, this is your time, he says. This is your time to remember who you are. This is your time to remember your connection to everything around you. This is your time to remember all that is. And where you in that. And it's going to be a time of great freedom. And he says it may be confusing for a lot of people because they will not know what to do with that freedom because they've never had it before. And he says, we will be he says, please feel free to call on them, the animal totems themselves. So you can call on individual animal totems just like you would an angel or an archangel. And if there's an animal that you feel close to, that you love, that you really enjoy, or you feel attracted to, you can call on that totem. You can call on any of them, but usually the ones we feel attracted to are the ones we relate to best. And they're usually friends on the other side. They're usually beings that we have worked with before, and that's why we feel an affinity for them. So be afraid. Don't be afraid to ask for their help, especially as he's like, as you connect more, as humanity connects more with the world around them through not just their physical senses, but their energetic senses, you're going to be waking up and your senses are going to be waking up. So seeing, hearing, sensing, feeling things that you haven't before. And you can call on them to help you process this brave new world as you move into it with these new gifts. He's saying again, don't be afraid to cover him. And he says, worry not. He says, worry is a byproduct of an overly tired mind. Worry is a byproduct of a mind that needs to rest, and awareness needs to go back into your body. Energy around. That's what it's spinning your wheels. When you find yourself worrying, it's time to come back to your body and be present. So as he's talking about that, he's saying it body is pay attention to how your feet feel on the floor. Pay attention to the wind against your face. Pay attention to the breath moving in and out of your lungs in your body. Pay attention to those things and you back into yourself. He's showing me television. He's showing me social media. He's showing me working on computers. You guys, he's saying, you guys, humanity, you've grown so much and you have so many wonderful new toys and it's helped you so much. But he goes, you your mind. He's saying you're having a hard time sleeping. People have anxiety who can't stop thinking over and over and over again, negative thoughts and feelings. He's showing a lot of young kids who are hyperactive and who've been diagnosed with ADHD. He's saying part of it is these children looking at screens so much on a regular basis, and their mind not having heart calm down cycle after. They don't have the understanding or the knowing or the learning. And it's that embodiment, that learning to focus on them. Saying much love, and he says, I'm here for questions. He's funny. Please free to ask. And he is reminding you that the earth is a resource and not just the material part of the earth. The earth as a spirit is a resource. She will help you with your body. She will help you ground in. She will help you with the changes that are going on right now. And he says, don't be afraid to ask her as well. For you are part of her as she is a part of you. That was a lot tonight. I don't know how much people picked up. I know that we got disconnected there for a while. I don't know how or why. I'll make sure we don't have any questions. Oh, wait. Chat. No, we're good. There we go. Thank you for being here tonight. Thank you for listening to all that Spirit had to say. That was very surprising. And when it's a night like this, I just have no idea what's going to come out. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them on our website, www.eroticspiritpodcast.com. That is a podcast that's where sex, sexuality, spirituality, real life, and soul just meet. And we talk about those issues. We will be back here next Thursday at 6 p.m. Jenna will probably be with me. She's a globetrotter. She's all over the place. But she'll be back here next week. It will probably be our regular format unless Spirit's our producers. We'll see what Spirit has to say. Again, my name, and please check out our latest episode at eroticspiritpodcast.com. My name is Angela Shelby. I'm a psychic and a medium, a spirit guide channeler. I am a dream interpreter of over 30 years, and I'm a quantum touch energy healing practitioner. If you would like to learn more, or you would like a private session, please hit me up on my web, www.angelashelby.com. I do private readings. I do dream interpretations. They're all long distance right now because I too am traveling. But I really appreciate you spending time with us tonight. And until next time, I look forward to doing this again, and I look forward to answering your questions. Have a wonderful night.